Hey, it's Aaron Curry here, and if I could get one message out to every property investor in the UK right now, it would be this. Your financial future is far brighter than you can possibly imagine right now. That is if you can look past today's headlines and read the real trends that will drive the market tomorrow. I'm not saying that you don't have reason to be concerned right now. That, the fear the media is printing is real. It's not imagined. We've had people have severe financial difficulties. We've had people severe physical difficulties. People have died. People having severe difficulties. It's real. It's not imagined. But it's also real. The triggers that have made the property market drop by 10% are real, not imagined. We've been buying in the last couple of months with that level of extra discount versus February prices. And the property market is going to bounce back faster than the newspaper headlines would make us believe. That means that there's a very short window when you can buy property at the bottom of the market with virtually no competition. A short window when you can ethically buy property with 25 to 30% discounts. And you're going to find, and those discounts based on February prices, you'd have bought in February, paid full price, 25 to 30% discount. And you'll find world-class properties easily right now, or far easier right now, because the number of people looking to buy a house has fallen to an all-time low. So if you're looking for the best time to buy property, and the time when it's easiest to find huge discount deals, and when you'll grow the wealth the fastest, this is it. This is the financial freedom moment of our lifetime. And there's only one skill. There's one skill that stops 90% of ambitious investors from building a property portfolio at the speed of their ambition. Because, of course, we need to go fast. If we're going to grab this opportunity, this window, we need to go quickly. And there's one skill that stops 90% of ambitious investors. What is that one skill? It's ethically sourcing world-class properties. We can do this ethically, so everybody wins, but it's ethically sourcing world-class properties. Now, if you're thinking, I want to buy below market value, Aaron, or BMV, Aaron, then part of what makes an investment property world-class is the discount on the purchase price. There's so many other parts. A world-class investment property is much more than only the discount on the purchase price. In fact, at the start of my journey, the only rule that I had for a good investment property was the discount on the purchase. That was the only rule back then. That one rule gave me more stress and more sleepless nights than anything else in my lifetime. I don't want that for you. So that's why I want you to understand all of the parts. That's why I'm going to share with you some of the 13 sourcing techniques that my team at the Insight Group use to source over £100 million worth of property every single month. Why we end up buying for our done for you clients 30 to 40 properties from that sourcing and from that looking every single month. I'm going to share with you my golden rules for world-class properties for every property strategy. Let's face it, if you're going to buy world-class HMOs, that must be a different set of rules from if you're going to buy world-class buy-to-lets. And I'm going to show you how to find world-class properties direct to vendor or direct to landlord. And I'll show you how to turn every world-class property that you find into a lucrative payday and a recurring income, starting, if you want, with none of your own money. Now, that's a lot to cover, way more than I can fit in one video. So that's why this is the final video in a 4-part series. A 4-part series to show you how to source world-class properties so you can build a property portfolio at the best time in over a decade. Now, in the first video in the series, I showed you how to look past today's headlines and read the real trends that will drive the market tomorrow. How do you know what's going to be happening next week, next month, over the coming months and years? And I showed you the 90-year trend that will drive the market tomorrow and why now is the financial freedom moment of our lifetime. Why now is the time that you should be buying. So if you haven't seen that video, you can go and watch it right now. In fact, I recommend you do. Go watch that before you watch the rest of this. All you have to do is find a click and click the link somewhere around this video. Find the link and click and go watch that first video. In the second video in the series, I gave you a 30-second sourcing tool to find off-market deals for free. Who'd like off-market deals for free? I'm sure your answer is yes. 30-second sourcing tool to do that. This is the secret tool to attract more deals than you can comfortably buy faster than you dare to dream. And it's a tool that I used in 2013 to source a 237 property deal. And I gave that tool to you in the second video. So if you haven't seen that yet, somewhere again around this video, click the link and you can go and see that. In the third video in the series, I showed you the 3 most powerful sourcing strategies my team use to find £100 million worth of world-class property every single month. And I shared why you might not have got the results you want with your sourcing strategies in the past, but you can now. So if you haven't seen that third video, then go and watch it now. Again, all you need to do is click the link that's somewhere around this video. Now, before we get into the content of this video, I just want to say, and explain why the video quality is not what I'd want it to be ideally. We're in lockdown still, or I still am, so I can't work with a videographer. I can't get face to camera with them. So it's just me sat here with my laptop, sat with the webcam, but I'm giving you the content. I want to get the content out to you. So in today's video, this final video in the series, I'm going to show you how to monetize every world-class property you find, and if you want, with none of your own money. Okay? So how can you monetize a world-class property? You follow my strategy, you follow my ways, and you get these deals coming to you, deals coming all the time, every day, deals coming into your inbox, and you're sifting through them. You know the rules to make sure you've got world-class properties sat in front of you. Well, the first way to monetize that deal is to buy it yourself, isn't it? If you've got the money to buy property right now and you want to buy X amount of properties, you put all of this in play and you buy it yourself. So that's method number 1, okay? And you build your portfolio, and that makes you wealthy. That builds you real wealth over time from the cash flow that you're getting coming in and from the asset growth. But if you don't have the money, what else can you do? Or when you run out of money, because you might have enough for 3 deals, 10 deals, 5 deals. But what happens when you've got 20 world-class deals sat in your inbox and you don't have all the money you need to buy them all? Well, the most lucrative answer is something that no one else can show you. It's building a portfolio for people. You see, if you find a world-class property and you sell the deal on, so you might find 5 properties and you want 3. So you buy 3 of them and you've got another 2, and you sell one of those deals on. Who can you sell that deal on to? You can sell it onto another property investor only. Of course, just someone else that's interested in investing in property. That's all you can do. Because if you sell a world-class property to someone that doesn't know what to do with it, nothing will happen. They're not going to want to buy it. Nothing, okay? But if you have a world-class property and you're going to buy it in somebody else's name, and you're going to organize the refurb, and you're going to find a tenant, and you're going to manage the property for them on an ongoing basis, which is an aside, gives you a recurring income, how many people can you sell that to? Yeah, everyone. Everyone wants it. Everybody can get into that. Everyone that wants to invest in property that doesn't know how, or everyone that wants to get into property and doesn't have the time, or that doesn't have the desire to do it themselves or get into it, now they're your marketplace too. Suddenly all these other people, not just the person that was already a property investor, all these other people are now available to you. So you have a much bigger market, and you can therefore make much more money from every property you find. Supply and demand. If the market's big, you can charge more. Plus, you only need a handful of investors to completely change your life. Let me share with you a story. Just about a month ago, I was chatting to one of my clients, a guy called Oliver. And Oliver was sharing his history before he met me. Oliver sold his company, really successful guy, built a company and sold out for, millions of pounds, multi-million pound deal, sells his company. And that money gets put into different places. He diversifies it, but some of it he wants to put into property. He doesn't have the property skill. He's used to paying for experts. So he goes, do you know what? I want 30 buy-to-lets. And he goes to a property sourcer that he manages to connect with, and he says to them, I want 30 buy-to-lets. Now, let's imagine that property sourcer charged Oliver £5,000 per property. That sourcer went and found 30 of these houses for Oliver. Now, Oliver was a business owner, a very successful business owner, but he'd not done loads of property studying. He didn't know the property market inside out and back to front. He just knew he wanted to be in property. And it was great that this sourcer was going to do all the work and just make it all simple. Okay, it's even better when the sourcer says, I'll manage them long term as well. The sourcer makes money long term, but for Oliver, he doesn't have to learn all that intricacy and all that detail. So these properties didn't have to have big discounts for Oliver to be interested. They had 7 to 10% discounts. Now, you can find properties with that level of discount in an estate agent's window right now, in the estate agent's window. What did the sourcer make? 30 deals in 6 months with a £5,000 fee per property. £150,000. £150,000. You don't even need the £13 bag of tricks that I told you about in video 3 because they're sat in the estate agent's windows. And you don't want 50 investors that want one each. That's a stressful job. Yeah. Find people that want to work with you and that you enjoy time spending with them. You enjoy being around them. You can work with people like that. Find 1 or 2 really successful people you enjoy spending time with, people you can learn from them while you're around them as well, and then help them build a property portfolio, and you're going to transform the quality of your life. So you just need to learn the skills to find 1 or 2 of them, or 3 or 4 of them if you want to be really wealthy, and then go source them their property portfolios, and you take the deals that you want, and then the extra deals you sell on to them and build their portfolio too. What else? We've covered 2 there. What else can you do to monetize every world-class deal that you find? Well, you can buy it with other people's money. Now, I know if you've never done this before, that might sound crazy to you, and I know it might sound hard to you. But it really is anyone that has someone in the bank, because right now, interest rates, the base rate's at 0.1%. I read an article today predicting it's going to stay at 0.1% for the next 5 years. Now, that doesn't guarantee it will. But what are savers getting? What return on their investment are they getting? Nothing. They're getting no return on their investment at all. And you really can find them anywhere. These savers, people with money, they're on virtually every street in the UK has somebody that's got a large amount of money sat in the bank account. Some streets have got lots of people with a large amount of money sat in the bank account. You're looking for these joint venture partners. Now, my joint venture partner was literally my next door neighbor. Let me tell you about when we met. So this is a guy called Mark. Now, we were next door neighbors. We didn't really know each other that well. Okay, we kind of said hello over the fence in passing, 2, 3, 4 times maybe. We shared a driveway, fence up the middle of that driveway. So we didn't really share it. There was a fence up the middle of it. We were that close. And we just said hello over the fence maybe 4 or 5 times. Okay. And back then, I'd read a book called Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. Brilliant book, by the way. And I'd read this book and I was like, and I spoke to a guy who turned out to be a mentor of mine, but I spoke to Warren and I said, look, you've given me this book to read, but I'm not earning anything. I don't understand. I don't have any money coming in at the moment. You know what I'm earning. I'm not earning anything. And now you're telling me this book's telling me to go get assets, to go get an investment property. How the heck am I meant to get investment property? And Warren kind of looked me in the eye and said, look, Aaron, there's no such thing as a lack of resource, a lack of money in this instance. He was like, there's no such thing as lack of resource. There's a lack of resourcefulness. There's lack of resourcefulness. You need to get resourceful. Go master this. You need to go find somebody with the money and get this done. And it'll change your life. It'll change your family's life, your friend's life, and you'll be able to impact far more people. And he was right, but I was sat there, for the next 2 or 3 weeks going, I don't know anyone with money. Who do I know? Who do I know? Who do I know? Who do I know? Now, at the time, I was a mortgage broker. I was 6 months into being a broker. I'd earned £2,000 in 6 months. I was totally novice. I didn't know what I was doing. But luckily for me, the second person whose mortgage I did was Mark. So I'd been and seen Mark to work with him on his mortgage. And when I did his fact find, filled in his fact find with him, one of the pages said, how much you got in savings? And he told me. So I'm sat at home. It's one Thursday night, late at night, okay? Autumn Thursday night. It's drizzling, raining outside, wet rain. You know, when it's wet rain, like a drizzle, but it's really wet. And it's dark. It's about 9 o'clock at night, 9:30. And I'm in my kind of slippers. And suddenly I'm like, Mark's got money. I've been racking my brain for 2-3 weeks. Mark's got money. So I literally, 45 seconds later, I kid you not, as soon as the ideas come in my head, there's no prep, there's no thinking about it. I've gone and I've literally jumped out of my house. I'm still in my slippers. I've jumped over the fence between the two houses and I'm knocking on his door. And Mark comes and opens his door, and there's this madman outside. It's dark, it's raining, I'm salivating. I'm like, Mark, I've read this book. You've got money. I've read this book. I know what to do. We can build a property portfolio together. There's a nutter there. By the way, this isn't how you get joint venture finance. I'm not telling you how to do it. I'm telling you how I did it the first time. And I'm like, crazy like this. Now, I'm going to cut a long story short. We get 3 or 4 weeks further in, and do you know what? He goes, do you know what I'm in? I'm up for this. And he's happy to put some money in the pot for us to grow a portfolio together. Now, the first 10 properties I then went and bought were a total disaster. You may have heard my stories before. I'm not going to cover them in detail now, but I had people not paying the rent, I had people trashing the properties. I had someone set fire to one of the houses. They had a drugs party, set fire, burnt it down. True story. Chapeltown, Leeds. It was just a disaster, my property investing in the first 10, because I was sourcing the wrong deals, because I was driven to just source by the one rule of it had to have discount, instead of knowing all the rules and having mastery and knowing exactly what to look for and exactly what to do to build a world-class portfolio. Now, once I committed to mastery, once I realized I started to learn from world-class people that were brilliant at this, that had lots of it already, people like myself these days, once I started learning from them, suddenly, within the next 7 properties we bought, I went from buying 10 that were a disaster, that kind of, broke even or lost us a few £100, a couple of lost us a few £1,000. It wasn't even my money, it was Mark's. But we got to a point where the next 7 that I bought for us both, we were financially free. We were financially free. Now, it wasn't 17 properties to get us financially free. The first 10 didn't help. It was 7 to get us financially free. That's why these rules alongside the sourcing are so vital. So 7 buy-to-let properties to become financially free when you buy properties to my golden rules. And guess what? Let's fast forward that story. Mark put 100K in, by the way, in the end. £100,000 of his money he put in. We've now got 72 houses together. I put the work in, he put the money in. Together, we built a portfolio that has 72 properties in it. Okay? That was my first JV partner. And it would never have happened if I didn't jump over that fence salivating with great excitement. Okay? So JV partners are out there and you can raise them. Mark didn't really know me. He dealt with this salivating person. You can learn to do this a far better way. You can learn to do this properly and professionally and attract that money into you. So there are 3 main ways to monetize every single property that you find. And that means you can go big. You can go look for big portfolios and drive in big amounts of property because you've got 3 outs. You never run out of money. You never run out of money. It can be your money and you build it just in your name. It can be deals that you sell on to other people, but don't sell them on individually. You offer them a portfolio building service and you sell them on in that way. By the way, I run the largest portfolio building service in the UK. We've helped people buy well over 1,000 properties to date. So you're learning from the master here. You're learning from someone who's walked the walk kind of a million times over. We're 7 times bigger than the next biggest competitor in this space in terms of building people portfolio. So, so you either do that, you build a portfolio, or you still buy the deals, but you buy them with a JV partner. Okay. So we've come a long way in this 4-part video series. And I'd like to thank you for joining me to discover the one skill that stands between you and building a property portfolio at the speed of your ambition. And there's so much more that I'd like to share with you and to show you. You see, I want to make sure that you can confidently start finding world-class properties right now, so you can seize this financial freedom moment. I want you to have the confidence. It's not just about learning the skill set. I want you to have the confidence. So that's why I'm asking you to join me, or inviting you to join me for a live webinar on Wednesday night. It's called the Property Sourcing Cookbook that built a £132 million business. The Property Sourcing Cookbook that built a £132 million business. And here's just a little taste of what you'll discover if you join me on the webinar. By the way, the link will be somewhere further down this page or around this video. You can click the link to join us on that webinar. But here's a taste of what you'll discover. You'll discover the 30-second sourcing tool to find off-market deals for free. You'll discover why leaflets don't work to find property deals. Right? No, wrong. You'll discover why people are doing leaflets wrong and how you can just leaflet drop. In fact, you can have a teenager do the leaflet dropping and you can get the deals that you want to get. I'll show you the right quantity of leaflets to send. And this simple strategy, I'll show you how to turn that into 1, 2, or 10 deals a month just by having a teenager leaflet. And I'll show you the 3 ways to turn every deal you source into a huge payday and a recurring income, starting with none of your own money, and lots more. So to join me live, click the link further down this page or somewhere around this page. I look forward to working with you on Wednesday night live. I'm going to be on there live with you, working with you. Until then, look after yourself and the people you love. Click the link right now. Invest with knowledge, invest with confidence, create financial freedom. I'll see you soon. Thanks a lot for listening.